Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we have what might be the most interviewed studio in Ruff Talk VR. You know, there's guests like Robin Mulder comes to mind.
Robin comes with 3-pound games attached. That's a tough one.
I think the total amount of all the coconuts surpass her individually.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is the most...
As a total? But
yes, Robin might be the most interviewed guest, but in terms of studio, I don't think that there's a studio we've done more interviews with than Mighty Coconut. And I feel like...
On the Ruff Talk end, yes.
I don't think that... You know, going into this, I'd be like, I think we talked to the majority of the coconuts, but we still seem to find new ones. Our last interview, we had 2 coconuts we never talked with. And today we're joined with...
Dude, that was, not going to lie.
That was a fun one.
Yep. Well, they all been fun. It's like, what's your favorite course?
I don't know, Edward. Fun. Edward, you got some competition. The last one was real fun. I warn you.
No, Edward, dude, when I heard it was going to be Edward, I was like, come on. I talk to Edward once a week if we could. It's not a problem.
Yeah. So
but what comes with this, I'm wicked excited for as well.
So today we're joined with Sarah Balman, who's a coconut we've never talked with before. Sarah's the community manager over at Walkabout Mini Golf. And then we're also joined with Edward Felix, lead modeler for Walkabout Mini Golf. So do you two mind to do a quick little intro of yourself and tell us more of what you do at Walkabout Mini Golf?
I'm Coconut Sarah, and I'm the community manager. I've been here for over 3 years now. I started, Sweetopia came out like a week or 2 after I started. And so, yeah, it's been the best job ever.
Sarah, actually, this is where we all come together and let you know that you're fired.
Nah,
this has actually
no
been
way.
They brought me in as the outside
recently
consultant to do this.
You can't
we
fire
hired
me.
Ruff Talk VR as our new HR consultants. I'm terribly sorry to have to let you know this way.
I'll gather the community and uproar. They'll be so like, no more trivia, no.
I'm Edward Felix. I'm the lead modeler, and as of 10 seconds ago, decided that I'm the person who gets to fire people.
Oh, okay.
I think we were even joking off air. We're going to knight Edward.
Yeah,
so don't be surprised if after this we're
Sir Edward Felix.
So this is fun.
Yeah, if you could all genuflect as I enter the podcast, that would be very nice of you.
Maybe we could do an official knighting in Walkabout.
I'll go down to Australia for that. You kidding me, man?
Well, we could do it in Walkabout using the putters, instead of swords and stuff like that. We can.
Well, you can use the tourist trap putter, which is a sword. So
see.
Perfect.
See?
There you go.
Look at this.
I knew when I put that in, I put it in and I said, this is it. I'm going to get knighted using this. I think I've got it.
This is my futures right here.
If I put this in one day, I will be knighted. So this is a fun one. I mean, we were joking off air and it's absolutely true. No offense, Edward. I think you'll actually take pride in this. We do curse your name a lot anytime a new course comes out. If we can't find the balls,
he is who I blame.
We talked to you last time we talked to you. I think you said that you always make sure you make enough easy that, people will be able to get the hard mode, but there's a couple balls you have to have your cynical fun with. And then, is there a single game that crushes it more on community management than Walkabout Mini Golf? Between, affiliated groups, in-house tournaments, events, anytime a course drops, you see the whole community, beyond just creators, you see the whole community rally behind it.
Every single day. When we talked to David last time, I gave huge props to the ability to maintain that kind of presence with never missing a day. And I think he was laughing that even right now, as we were talking, he knows those next ones are getting ready for tomorrow or getting ready to drop. But I know every single day I'm going to see notifications on their Discord about daily challenges, tournaments, not to mention the other handful of every single social media outlet is constant clips, feedback. I can't give better props to a well-run community machine, I'll say.
Yeah. So this is a tough.
Sorry, the community itself makes it a lot easier because this is my second VR game studio, and the last one definitely had a more youth player base. And so, that I had my hands full, herding the children. But Walkabout community is just so lovely by default. Obviously it's not video games without a troll here or there, but the Walkabout community itself has been a wonderful thing, and it makes it really easy and fun to come up with different things that we can do with them. So it's thanks to folks like you.
It's a lovely, lovely community, but also I have occasionally sat in on the comms meetings and watching Sarah and the team work. Yes, we should compliment the community, but I'm also just going to turn around and be like, Sarah, take the freaking compliment, girl.
Oh, I can't.
I've seen how you work.
Impossible.
The replies game, your ability to reply with what feels like a custom made GIF specifically for that reply, but I have a feeling you have a response for everything banked somewhere in some folder. The ability to respond to comments with custom GIFs made inside Walkabout, the commenting on pretty much anything Walkabout Mini Golf, whether you guys are tagged in it or not, even mini golf related, Edward, you said it perfectly, all the compliments to the community, but also the community management team beyond Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at the modesty that the community manager would take by instantly deflecting
to the community,
the praise for the community management. And I'm saying and you're 100% correct. There's a big difference between Walkabout's community and Rust, right? Although I would have loved to have heard your first community manager job was working in Rust. That just would have been awesome. But come on, the way that it's run and put together as the machine that it is not the community. This is what you're giving to the community and putting out there in the community, and the respect and kudos should be deserved and taken wholeheartedly, because without you and all the members, there would be no community. It'd be nothing. But it'd be easy to be we don't need a Discord. Why bother? People like our game. They play it, right? But you don't take that stance at all.
We've seen examples where communities turn against games, and it's a hard thing to win back. So
it's like killing a culture. You can't get
on the flip side of the community being great, the game itself is great, which also and the dev team is great, and so it's just easy to talk. Okay.
Games
besides Edward, our coconut villain. No, the team is really easy to work with. We've grown a lot since I started, but there's still so much collaboration and someone in the communication department can have a idea and that ends up in the game, and that's something that I think is really cool. And I don't know, I'm just a gamer first, and so I'm still oh my god, I work in video games. So the job's just fun. But yeah, the game is great, which also helps. There's not oh, what do I say to salvage our game's reputation? It stands on its own.
Walkabout's in its own. We even put it in its own. Y'all do your own thing. You're in your own lane. You have in my head, zero competition in the space. None. I don't think anyone's going to come in tomorrow and put together a package for their company that's going to, roll out and have the success and satisfaction we get as a consumer. So on all ends, it's you're this own unique, not an indie studio by any means at this point. So no, you crush it on every angle. The community crushes it.
Indie. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, I'm just it's wild how the frequency courses are coming out, the level of polish, that trickles down to us where it's there's no time to talk anything but what the last course or the next course is going to be. But somehow I think that the pace we're going is helping us kind of maintain that fully independent status. And that's what allows us to, do all this cool stuff, try out things that maybe, it's just because so-and-so is I think this would be a cool idea, and not, no, hammer coming down on the fun because, we have the flexibility as being an independent studio still.
We joke a lot off air. No one likes to call themselves not an indie studio.
Yeah. But the reality is you reach a certain level and point in product sales and studio.
I saw a game that passed 100 million in sales.
Yeah,
on flat screen.
We're indie.
Indie made 100 million.
No, you're not. I'm just saying.
Well,
in
from a
VR
technical
space,
sense, I understand. Yes, it's abbreviated for independent.
Correct.
You are independent. You're unowned. You're your own operating beast. You don't have nobody else making decisions and stuff. Nobody else.
They need a new word for for
indie versus AAA, because there's
but we've always said Walkabout's the AAA in the VR space for what they do. But
Edward,
we're
I didn't think you had a
outdy
comment
at
on
best. Yeah, there's indie, there's us, we're outdy, and then somehow we get into AAA.
I don't think you're indie, Ed. I think you're Aussie. All right, I'm sorry. That one was pretty bad. That one was pretty bad. That was I came to mind. I couldn't. I
got a question for Edward, because he's been around a while now.
He's an OG of the coconuts. OG
coconut. Still got the coconut juice going.
Yes, the coconut milk is still ripe.
Yeah. What's the pace feel like from when you started to today? It seems the pace of DLCs coming is pretty almost on tune. I wouldn't say to a set exact date at this point, but you can kind of feel in the air like, there's a course coming. I can tell. And within a week or two, you hear, okay, there's a course coming. But is that pace still like comfortable, or are you feeling wow, we're really churning now?
So it's really interesting. It is much, much faster, obviously, than when I joined, but it also feels much slower, because back then it was just, okay, well, we'll do a course, and Henning would design the holes. And I think, say, like Tethys Station, I walked through it with Henning and Lucas, and then it was thrown to me and they said, go to the art, come back later. And that was it. Whereas now there is a beautiful, beautiful pipeline. So even though it comes out much faster, it actually feels much slower, because we're in the course for so long with so many different people looking at it, that it actually feels like we get a lot more time to look at it, despite it coming out, a very specific amount of time, and making sure we hit that cadence. And, like you were saying on your previous episode, you're going, I'm just jonesing from a Walkabout fix. And then we announce a lair just to really mess with you. And he said all those nice things about me, and I was driving, listening, and I'd go, Mum, there are people, they say nice things about me. I've made it. It's okay.
It makes up. We say all the nice things on air because it makes
Karma.
up for the cursing we do when we can't find the balls.
Day one, we're not a fan. We're like, where's Edward? We've joked so many times. Like, someday we got to do it. We got to do a day one playthrough with you just watching us
the
struggle.
First time we haven't tried to find the balls yet. We bring you in for a new course that just dropped, and you can watch us our struggle.
It'd be
it's
hysterical.
Really fun watching me play day one, because it's been so long since the balls have been hidden that I've forgotten where they all are. And I start cursing my own name, because I'm going, I need to quickly go find them, just get into hard mode, make sure it's all unlocked on my headset. And then I can't find the ones that I've hidden. I'm like, ugh, who did this? What a jerk. Ugh.
And it's you.
And we joke, about cursing your name and stuff, but it's all out of
it's in love.
It's in love. It's appreciation. The work.
I think it would take a special person to not like it. To be honest with you,
no doubt,
dude, if you're telling me you don't like them, you're probably the problem.
There's people that I feel that way. Like, if you tell me that you don't like them, you're wrong.
Yeah, I already know.
Or it's solid.
I know you're lying.
And dude,
as evil as he might be.
The visuals, and I know that there's a lot more that goes in the visuals than just the modeling. There's a lot of aspects. There's the lighting, there's there's everything, but the modeling and just the artwork, the visuals in the Crystal Lair, we had so much fun looking at all of the little details. The doner kebab. Mm-hmm. We sat there joking about the doner kebab for 5 minutes just because it was there. We're like, oh, remember we got that every day in Germany. I could eat that every day of my life. Ha ha ha.
That is Emma's wonderful modeling. But it's funny you raise that point, because the modeling team, we're sort of in the middle of the pipeline, and we're looking at it, and I have to, check over everything, make sure everything's up to the Walkabout standard. I'm looking at it going, I know it's going to get there, but it's just not quite there. It's not quite there. And then we run out of time, and I feel weird. We pass it on. And then Zach, who is our 2D artist, who is just the nicest human being on the planet, B, so freaking talented, and he does his pass, and then Tony does the lighting pass, and I go back into the level having been away, and I'm like, oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And those two just between them do the most incredible work. And then you got the tech art team who do all like the cool effects and the water and actually make it run on the headset, which I am not jealous of them having to do. And just we finish it as a modeling team, and I'm going, well, it's good, but it's missing something. And then it comes back after those guys, and I'm just going, it's beautiful. I'd live here.
The classic humble answer. I think every piece of the pie is very important.
I think the flow right now has got to be beautiful, though.
I always love that the answers to, from anyone that we talk to is always taking praise given to them and being like, it's really Henning, or it's really the tech artist, or. But
when the other people are freaking amazing, and you talk to them and they're going to say, I'm good. But the person who gives it to me is absolutely amazing.
Call me foolish, because it's one of those things like when the reality hits you, like, yeah, no shit, that's obvious. For you to be the lead modeler, that implies that there's other modelers. I guess it would be a little bit like of an arbitrary title to call you the lead modeler if you're the only one. So there's other modelers on the team.
I'm going to laugh if there isn't, but I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the lead Australian, the Australian office. I'm in charge of that office.
How many people are there working on the modeling team?
So it's really fun because we have been expanding. The levels are so much bigger now than they used to be. I mean, when we did Labyrinth, that was the largest level on the planet. Oh my God, we were never going to do anything that big again. But it was our first IP, and we built the whole labyrinth, and every hole had its own, area. There was nothing like it. And that was the last time we hired a modeler, Shane, who is, of course, would you believe it? Brilliant. He's so nice. Oh my God.
Yes.
And since then, every level's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So we sort of steal modelers from the rest of the team because everyone enjoys doing a bit of it. So we officially, on like the modeling side, we have me and then Tad, Emma, and Shane. And they're all fantastic at different areas, all talented, all just the easiest people to work with. But then I'll be like, okay, well, Don's really good at just getting some props out fast. I really need these extra things. Hey, Don, can you just hit up some other stuff? And our newest level designer, Laura, I'm like, no, feel free to put some things in the level and I'll just check over them. Then they'll go in. And then Lucas, who literally, owns the company, who we have to, like he walks in and we're just, we just got to grovel a bit. Sort of thing. No, he's would you believe he's wonderful as well. And the other day I was talking to him in a meeting. He's like, oh, I could do it. I'm like, yes, please, for this level, I need you to do all the rocks. And if you do the plans, anytime. So we're just stealing resources from everyone else. And so far, no one's noticed or complained. Oh, and like Jeremy, who's the producer, who's really there to make sure timelines and businesses and everything works out. Make him model, around the world in 80 days. He recreated Paris of a very specific era. He's just, redone all the backgrounds for the next level, and he shouldn't be modeling at all, in terms of job title, but we just won't let him go.
I've learned from VR studios, I don't care what hat you have, you're probably wearing a lot, but it's cool when people want to do that. One of the things that's exceptional about your studio is the talent pool that you can pick from any given department. It's like, these are minds that are not one dimensional. The backgrounds are just stupid impressive. So yeah, I'm not shocked that almost anyone in the company could, hey, you want to do some environment? Yeah, absolutely. I haven't done this before, but look at, I'm crushing it. Not shocking.
It's tough having imposter syndrome and working at my Coconut. I'm just surrounded by incredible people. I'm like, I'm here somehow. But yeah, it's really cool to see. There's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff outside of the office to get even more creative energy out. I'm like, working. You guys are just working constantly, never sleeping. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, Crystal Lair in particular, I think was an interesting course as far as like Lucas having a very big hand in it. Like this is definitely one of like his courses that he really put a lot of effort into. I'm trying to think of what the last one like that was.
Mars Gardens.
Yes, that's right. Little Lucas Darling courses.
So Lucas can technically even have his own passion projects for courses and just take what he wants from. It's good to be the boss.
It's one of those things because he's so good at designing courses. And, when he started, when the company started doing Walkabout, it was just him doing a lockdown thing. He gets so bogged down in business and feature plans, he doesn't get to do as much of the fun stuff. And so when he wants to be more involved in the course, he's also a delight to work with. So you can't even be like, oh, Lucas, go do business things. You're just like, oh, yay, Lucas.
Well, we've met him in person.
Yeah,
at Connect, and
he's you can feel the energy of being a nice human, which you can typically feel from people.
Yeah,
whether they're good people or no. I got a good vibe when we talked to him, and of course, meeting him in person was just a treat.
Mm-hmm.
Tall dude.
We were very complimentary at the start on the community side of things, and for good reason. I understand the imposter syndrome when you got the Martells and stuff like that, but the results speak for themselves. The Walkabout community is one of the best and most active in VR. And me personally, I went into Crystal Lair instantly. I was like, these magnetic crystals are one of the best new gameplay mechanics. I've banned myself from using the word favorite or best or I don't think it's fair to say because there's always recency bias, but it is the most fun course. This is the course I'm having the most fun with recently, I'll say. Those magnetic crystals are so much fun. So on your side, Sarah, what's the reception from the community been on this course on Crystal Lair, which I think has been one of the most innovative. The visuals on it, beautiful. The sound, as always, hole in one. It's been great. But what's the community response been?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, it's a evil lair, but it kind of almost feels like as far as like the lore of the course as well as the tone of it feels a lot different than our other evil lair courses. It's on the surface super laid back and chill, and then as you progress it gets a bit more like, and there's more revelations and you're like, what is going on here? I think players, and I am one of these players where I'm like, I kind of am almost relieved to have a gameplay mechanic where it's like, oh, it's because of the crystal that I did so bad on that hole, not my skill level. I like, features where it's more unpredictable. I know that can frustrate the very locked in players who are like calculating every angle, but I think for a lot of our more casual players, it's just like a fun new element they can play with. Lots of, I don't know, it's almost like a set where you get to play and pretend you're there. And I love I think the putter for Crystal Lair is my new favorite putter. I really like the simple ones, and I just love the little I can always call it the hilt when it's not a sword, it's a putter, the handle, I guess, but I just love it. It's gorgeous. And Emma did a really good job with the avatar options. And yeah, it's just kind of it seems easygoing, but then the gameplay can be tricky. So I don't know. It's got a good mixture of different things to offer all sorts of players, so they're definitely liking it a lot.
At the Evil Lair series, I've come on record to say it. It's I think my favorite series.
Your favorite series.
I got so excited,
most stoked for this one.
And from a game design perspective, I think part of the reason that this might be my favorite Evil Lair is looking at the past two Evil Lairs. Part of the reason I love them so much is they always bring a new gameplay mechanic.
Yes.
The laser lair, obviously, lasers. That was it. But that's destructive to your ball. You hit the laser, boom, new shot, which is still fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I'll get to it. My final point. You're going to get destroyed if you hit it. Ice layer, it froze your ball, which was oftentimes a detrimental effect. Vastly changed how you did it. Still fun. Don't get me wrong. But the crystal layer isn't destructive to your ball. It adds a layer of unpredictability and hilariousness really. So while the first two still love, like I said, it's my favorite series of courses, they were destructive to your ball, whereas this one is what I would say is just more like manipulative to your ball. So to me, that's more fun. There's never that frustration of like, maybe I do have to take the shot again because it went flying out of there. But most times there's not like a frustration to restart your shot. You just ended somewhere crazy after watching it bounce 12 times against the wall. So I feel like that it's so fun. It's like, who cares about score in this course? Like, just go in there, hit the crystals, freaking have fun.
Some people super care.
Yeah, people really care. We have a lot of fun with the layers because, like you say, the layers are where we get to do our weirdest ones. It's when we sort of come up with a new gameplay mechanic and we really push it. And you know when you're opening a layer that it's going to be weird. We're going to have a lot of fun with the environment. It's going to be a fun story. Like, the first two are very, like, the first one in particular is very classic. What's like a Bond villain? And, you know, each layer we push it a bit further going, how do we make this, you know, the last villain was just the crappiest boss you've ever had. And we all poured our hearts and souls into the crappiest bosses we ever had. But you know, when you open a layer, there is going to be just an absolutely balked gameplay mechanic where we've gone, okay, how do we just take mini golf and remove the fun from it and then put something different in that's hopefully still fun? And a lot of people think they are. And then some people play them and they just go, not for me, not for me.
I feel like this is all upside down trauma.
That was pretty traumatic. For some
we
people.
were not prepared.
Still a great. I'll argue.
I like the course.
You flexed the mechanics of what you could do and how you could do it, and it doesn't matter whether you're upside down on the side of a wall. You can still freaking do it, or balls going and then going to the ceiling.
It just felt like some upside down trauma.
I get not doing every course.
No, I mean, I think the best thing is that with how often we're coming out with stuff and the variety of it, you know, obviously not every single course is going to hit with everyone, but it is going to hit with someone. And maybe that's the course that they've been waiting for, or this is the one that really, for real, is their favorite. I know a lot of folks are like, now this one's my favorite. I know I just said that about Raptor Clips, but now this one. And so, you know, I wouldn't say, you know, it's good to hear different people's like why it doesn't work for them to keep in mind for future courses, but it's definitely not something that's going to like discourage us from trying new things for sure.
Yeah, maybe I'm just
figured out how it would play out.
Yeah, and the reality is, like, I you said it too. Like, I like the course, you like the course. Mm-hmm. Like, there's yet to be a course that I haven't liked. Like,
I've yet to play one and been like, geez, don't ever want to play that.
Not worth $3.99.
Jeez, bastards. Give me my $6 coffee.
Yeah,
make it to go.
You get so much value in the course.
It's not even funny, dude.
And I
plus on Quest Plus and then bundling shit in,
and I do appreciate that there seems to be a balance between, you know, some of the courses are more traditional.
Yes.
Like, it almost could be done in real life if you had millions of dollars to just build fantasy courses in your backyard. You could theoretically, it's physically possible. And then there's other courses that, like Laser Lair, Crystal Lair, you'll never see that. And as far as I guess with enough money, you could, money, you know, but it's not realistic. You're not going to see it in real life, but it doesn't matter. Those are my personal favorite courses. But I know, like, talking with Samson from Let's Talk Oculus, he's told me he likes the more traditional courses too. So there's flavor for everyone.
But he likes them all.
As do I.
Also a community with, like, incredibly diverse player base, you know, you'd be surprised, like, the age range we have. And so I think, you know, it's good to have, like, the more approachable classic courses. And then, you know, once you get more accustomed to the game, then you can, like, try your hand in those harder ones. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's got it. Well, I don't make the game, so I get to be, this is where I can be like, yeah, this game freaking rules. And, but, you know, it's like a game. It's great for beginners. There's, you know, easy to pick up and learn, but harder to master. And there's constantly new content coming out. So it's just a great, like, companion to your VR headset and iOS devices. And, you know, the social aspect is my favorite part as well. So
soon to be on Xbox, I understand, right?
No, that's fake news.
I'm doing my fake news bit.
We got to do at least one.
You know what I liked about this new course? it's the first one of the series I felt like, as I'm just going to be like character wise, that I was invited to, where I'm special to be there, versus like, why am I looking at dead penguins making me feel sad for myself?
The lore in this course, like they're puffins. We got puffins on this the other week. They're not penguins. They're puffins. Somebody commented on
that to the puffin community,
and it's a fair correction. They're not penguins. No dead penguins. Puffins, evil puffins. The penguins are nice.
I'm not saying it's anything about dead puffin, but it doesn't look happy.
Are there any dead, Edward? They're just frozen.
There's one upside, isn't there one upside down?
Of the world.
Cryogenics.
Yes, that's right.
I guess implied to be death.
But I did feel like, ooh, there's something going on here, because I can pay for all this stuff, right? Well, I'm like special.
The fox hunt in this course. I don't want to go into too much spoilers in case people haven't played it, but whoever wrote that fox hunt,
the narrative,
the lore in this course, like I genuinely laughed out loud. Not like, oh, that was funny, but like you didn't make any actual noise in real life.
The minute we were done too,
I was laughing on party chat with him, like every clue I read. It was so well written. It was funny. The lore of it. You were like, we got to add up the total cost of
what would all this stuff cost if we bought it all.
I wanted to joke like, oh, it's a great course, but it costs $600. Whatever the total value was, add up. I was like, somebody's gonna miss the joke. It's not worth explaining that one. It's still $3.99. But the lore in this one is a home run. I don't know who in the team.
Jeff Mills,
this is
right?
Yeah, Jeff Mills does the fox hunts, but I think in this one, normally I'd love to give a compliment and shout out to a specific person, but this course, the lore, is one of the most discussed we've ever done.
I can tell.
The lore for it, there's a course coming out next year which might have it beat in terms of lore discussion, but this one, it was really important. I know, sneaky hints for next year. Come on, guys, get hyped.
David's not here to spray water on us.
If he can spray water 15,000
like
kilometers
Edward.
and hit me in the face, he's earned it.
David's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, he's lovely. This course, because it was, around crystals, it's people's, deeply held beliefs and things that people care about and is important to them and their happiness. And we spent a lot of time trying to make sure that it was clear that we weren't insulting people who like crystals, because that would be just really jerky of us. We're like, no, the joke is that there's this guy and he's just doing everything he can to make money. And he is the villain and he's the jerk. The villain is capitalism, guys. This is actually the Communist Manifesto in mini golf form. But no, it was one of the most discussed ones because we just wanted to make sure we weren't going to accidentally come out and be jerks ourselves.
Well, I mean, hey,
I think it was that. Yeah, there was younger years, of course, who wasn't into crystals had the little leather pouch with my quartz and specific crystals. I swear to God, and I still won't like poo-poo anybody for doing it because shit in my house, I still have crystals set around. I just don't wear them every day. But I didn't see anything that like jumped out as like, oh man, that's just mean to the very anti-crystal mites.
Well, look, if somebody was like collecting gold. Like, there's nothing wrong with like I like gold things. But if somebody's selling fake gold, it's unethical.
Mm-hmm.
You're just calling out unethical behavior. That's all. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with gold.
They did a good job with the playing out how this all comes together.
Very well written. So compliments to the team. That's awesome to hear. It was like a big discussed group endeavor because yeah, dude, I audibly laughed out loud.
The flow was like it was perfect. Yeah,
and like it was good. It was very, very good. I know not every course can hit that level of narrative realistically. It sounds like there was a lot of discussion in it, but damn, there's always something random you guys raised the bar on. And in this one, unexpectedly, it was fox hunt narratives. And then, I would be kind of crazy to not bring it up because 2025, it's the year of Walkabout. It's the year you all have dropped new courses, but you did that the last several years. That's not a 2025 special thing, but you also expanded the base game, added previously, DLC only courses into the base game. Then there's also like Quest Plus and stuff like that, but that's a different conversation. But then the way you all have expanded features in the game this past year has been incredible. Like you can say 2025 Walkabout with expanded features, expanded courses is a enhanced game over where it was 2024, just talking the base game. And I mean, this last course, you also dropped the CocoVision feature, which these type of like built-in live integrations, even if it's not specifically live, because other games have done it before live. Live is just freaking awesome, and they're great.
Works well.
Yeah, they're solid. It's so good for the community. Not only creators, yes, there's the obvious selfish side where I can go, oh, recording Walkabout Mini Golf footage is now going to be easier to make content. Before we ever started our podcast, we would record clips, send them to each other. Like, that's just what players like to do. It's not even about creating content. It's about sharing the moments with your friends. So I almost feel like we're hitting the point that these type of built-in features are like a necessity for a big multiplayer game. And in classic Walkabout fashion, branded perfectly, CocoVision. I don't think it could be named any better. Yeah, can you guys talk a little bit about that feature in case any of our listeners haven't seen that
on
aspect?
socials?
Yeah, there's been more than just a course that have come out. We got a whole new camera.
Yeah. Edward, do you want to take this, or the technical side? And I can be like, oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, CocoVision, which you should always imagine being sung by like a little quartet of people in like a 50s jingle, like CocoVision sort of thing.
Be funny if that played when you went to go pull it up.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we'll get on that. We'll get on that.
I'll snip that soundbite for you.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that we've been working on for a while. There's quite a few quality of life features that have been bubbling away under the hood for a lot longer than you would expect. And being able to record things, we've been wanting to have an in-universe camera and a way of filming yourself, because it's so, like you said, it's such an important part of the social aspect. And then, of course, creating content, which, I mean, I hate the word content, but it's something that we've been bubbling away for a while. I believe it was Jeff Mills who got it over the line.
Yep.
Who we just shouted out as being the Fox Hunt King. Jeff has taken over Fox Hunts, and he's like a titan of industry. You got to Google this guy. And when he came aboard about this time last year, in my head, his job title is guy in charge of doing fun experiments and putting new fun features in. He came aboard because we were starting to put in new features of the game. We wanted to really push it and add more, because we don't have to sell them. It just means that, we put in big mode or tiny mode where you are giant or small on a course, and all these courses have new life and gameplay options. And so Jeff is the real sort of champion behind a lot of these additions that you were talking about, because it's just about making sure there's new, more fun ways to walk about. I need people thinking Walkabout. I need people talking Walkabout. Villain Slayer number 5, Edward turning the world, Walkabout zombies.
I feel like every interview I leave going like, oh, well, there's more coconuts we need to talk to. Sounds like Jeff is a huge one.
Yes. We do have some shy ones, but yes, there's a whole bunch of coconuts.
Everyone says they're shy, and then when we talk to people that claim they're shy, it turns out to be some of the best best interviews.
I still don't think Henning's a real person. I've heard this name.
Yeah.
I've never heard a last name.
I'm
Never.
with
I
you.
don't know if that's a first name, last name. All I've ever heard
just
is
gets
Henning.
thrown out there randomly.
I've heard
shit.
Henning
It's
as like this
Oprah.
guy that comes in
It's
and
just
just
a
cleans
guy.
stuff up, like just a beast in the company. I've heard him since the first ever Walkabout interview. Don't have a face to the name. Don't have any. Is that a first name, last name, nickname? It's just Henning. I'm gonna find out is like the mascot.
He's who I curse while I play, because he is responsible for a lot of the whole layout and stuff. So I'm just like, and there's like, who hurt you, Henning? Like, why would you make this like this?
I do remember when Henning first started, we'd be like, hey, make a course, and he'd make it. And he's like, don't worry, this is the easy one. I'll come up with something more difficult. And I think on the first time I played one of his holes, I got like 38 over par. I went, yeah, Henning, I think this could make it to the hard level, actually. The levels he designed, especially early on, were so impossibly difficult. And we're just going, hey, Henning, why? Why did you do this?
Well, that's actually a perfect lead to something I've pondered and always wondered, because we do have like the standard course and we have the hard mode. But I've often wondered, like, oh man, couldn't it be harder? Is there
Don't
ever been
say
talk
that.
about an extreme mode? Of course, that's doable, but no matter, I mean, like we can prove it's doable, but there's no way you're coming in under par on it, just for the people that are chasing it, which I know people would do. They'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm getting.
I mean, I've been
I
talking
would
about this for years. My dream course. I'm so sorry. I'm just talking
Nope,
over
go
your
ahead.
Maro. But like, I've been wanting to have a course, and you know, it'll look really crappy. It's got to look like you're at like a roadside attraction where it's just bricks. There's like no decoration. It's got to look like sun bleached and terrible. And there's no hard version. There's just one version of this course, and it's free and only unlocks if you hit under par on all the hard courses in the game. And it would just be this is my dream course, but there's like, we haven't put it in, and you know, because it's just Edward in a corner muttering to himself. But that's my dream course. Just, it is completely freaking unplayable, and you have to work hard to get it, and then you get there and don't even have a good time.
I would
Okay.
go for it.
I'm on the end of like easy's hard. So I will say that at least right now, the best way to challenge yourself more would be to utilize that the customization in modes and features you can now apply to courses, the modifiers. So, you know, messing around with the gravity or, you know, the different modes is like a good way. Also, you can just find people who are so good that it doesn't matter how good you are, you'll just be demolished. But yeah, I'll never say anything's out of the realm of possibility just because this team is so like open to ideas. But I'm like, oh no. I got like a plus 50 something on the Eldorado hard play test, like the first one we ever did. So I'm like, you know, I may play this game
I like that
every
you just
week,
listed
but
the hardest course that we've
it's
ever launched.
so
When
difficult. I think that was the one that was voted the hardest in our knockout tournament earlier this year, but it's so difficult.
I love that
Eldorado
knockout
Hard is a
tournament.
beast.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. We do in the Discord server where you can, you know, vote for different things. Like we had best music in the game, hardest easy, hardest hard, you know, kind of things like that. So a good reason to join our Discord server. Sorry, that's my whole job, is to just like, let me just sell the dream of Walkabout. So yeah.
You keep all of our players happy. I'm very indebted to you, Sarah.
No,
There's no shortage of players in Walkabout as well.
Nah,
to say the least.
it's and again, we talked about the positivity of the community. It's like that's the player base right there. It's like I just can't imagine going in there like all toxic. Like,
Oh my goodness,
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into
if you play Walkabout as a
like,
toxic, like in your toxic,
you're gonna
Walkabout,
stand out real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah. I get emails of people saying like videos like this guy was like so mean. And I'm like, oh, that, you know, like why? But it's inevitable. But you know, as and this kind of touches back on the wristwatch update and the CocoVision, but it's kind of a peculiar game where it like started very like straightforward, like minimal UI, you know, like a lot of optional things that you kind of either figure out or by word of mouth. And so it's been like an interesting journey to watch, just like starting to implement like things that you typically see in other games, but doing it like in a way that suits Walkabout. And it's easy for a lot of our non-gaming players to learn and understand. And so we're definitely, you know, constantly working on more things to improve, you know, different aspects, some of it competitive, some of it the more social or moderation. And so, yeah, if there's like, you know, oh, everyone's mean, we're working on doing things to make it easier for you to find the right people to play with.
Well, I've been throwing curveballs at almost every side thing you've brought in. Slingshot, didn't see that coming.
Bug hunt.
The bugs are so cute.
The bugs are
so cute. Adorable.
Finding lost balls and getting that new putter is like my day one. That's my mission in life. Don't talk to me until I got the new putter. Well, I will say Labyrinth. That's my putter of choice.
And 8-bit layer is also up there too.
I love it, but you'll always
It's
find
the
a use
hill
in
the handle in the Labyrinth one.
Oh, dude,
that
it's
little orb
spot
at the bottom.
on.
It's so good.
Spot on
Do
reflection.
you
Everything.
guys know the story of that putter, or are you familiar with kind of the development of it? Edward, do you want to inform them a little?
I think I talked about this one. Yeah, the 8-bit putter was a putter that was originally designed for Arizona Modern, because the game has always had fine lost balls. You can go find the original trailer from launch day, and apart from the game not looking as good, the lost balls were there from the get-go, but the putters weren't. They were a late addition, and this was like before we had a concept artist. And so Lucas goes, yeah, we're putting putters and fox hunts in. Edward, go make some putters for the courses. Original Gothic should look, spooky, and Arizona Modern should look like modern art. And so I went, what the hell does modern art look like? It's all like squares and big black outlines. And so the 8-bit putter was created. And I made it, and it was my favorite. And I'm like, Lucas, look, it's pretty. And he went, wow, it is pretty. Doesn't fit Arizona Modern at all. Love the outcome. Completely misunderstood the assignment, but and so he did some sketches, and we produced that, and it's the Arizona Modern putter that we have now, which is legitimately one of my favorites. But he said, just put it on ice. We'll come back to it. And so I've had this putter since I had it for like 4.5, 5 years, going, come on, guys, we're gonna use it one day. And 8-bit comes along, and I'm like, guys, this is it. So we're using this putter. And so, just putting pictures of it on the chat. And I think Lucas said, oh, it's really cool, but we should do this. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I know you signed my checks. I know you own the company, but you don't get to say in this. It's going out exactly as it is.
That is, and you know what? I've heard the community reception of the 8-bit layer putter. Like, it's not just us that love it. That's a community favorite as well, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm glad that that's in.
I was a curveball putter when I first saw it. I'm like, look at this freaking
It's
thing,
not even
man.
connected.
How's this even a putter? How's this work?
Freaking awesome. And I do have to bring this up only because you just mentioned this like an hour before we started the recording. You had the idea, and it's probably never going to happen. It's just like a what if on one course, like when those 2D cartoons would like go 3D for an episode, just like,
this is my walkabout. This will air Monday, won't it?
Yes. So this will have already been out by the time the episode comes. But you had the idea of like, what if there was one course that was like photorealistic graphics, like real VR fishing background.
You jump in expecting that walkabout thing, and it's like you're thrown into the opposite verse, like when cartoons go to real world or real world go to cartoons.
That would actually work pretty well for a lair, because you could have the transition. So you could have it, drop as a secret where you've got all the trailer just shows all the walkabout bits, and then you walk through a portal like an 8-bit, and you walk into the real world, and it's the mighty coconuts taking over the world. And
so it's not out of the scope of possibility.
It's
a 3D scan of the Mighty Coconut office.
Has watched Rudy and the Chalk, probably very much not. It's like a very obscure Nickelodeon show, I think, from when I was a kid. But like, you draw on the chalkboard, and when you erase it, they go to the chalk zone, and it's like Rudy and the Chalk. But like, it'd be cool to do like some kind of course where it like transitions within a course, and not the easy hard difference. But yeah, that's my favorite thing to ask people is just like, what course would you want to see? Because the possibilities are endless.
I love the feeling that I would feel if I did, like, you're starting it off normal, go through door, portal, whatever. And it's like just that impact of like even the avatars, changing up the avatars just for it, just more of a mind blowing. And again, nothing that I expect Walkabout to take serious, but I like spending Walkabout money when I can. So,
and you just unlocked a core memory as well as a kid that was born in the 90s, grew up in the 2000s. I do remember Rudy and the Chalk.
Okay, good.
I don't think I remembered it prior to that reference, but I absolutely remember that show.
I don't remember you guys watching it.
I feel like it.
I remember the meatball and French fry show there.
No, that one I probably shouldn't have been watched. That was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That was a great show. That would be a good idea. That'd be a good collab for a Walkabout course. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh my goodness!
Right. What's the kids show course that everyone wants? Are you sticking with Rudy and the Chalk?
Avatar: The Last Airbender, man.
Oh,
SpongeBob.
So cool.
SpongeBob.
Didn't Epic Roller Coasters do SpongeBob. If
Yeah, a
ever
few
roller
people have-
coasters,
Power
And
Wash
I
Sim.
think like the Power Simulator to just
Yep.
SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
That's an available IP.
They're
but-
talking.
That-
They're talking to
That's the
people.
part where we're independent. Like, where's
Well,
the
and
big bucks
truthfully,
for those?
You see, you're choosing or going after your
Look
own
at
things.
Metallica
not-
DLC for Beat Saber,
Yeah.
$20.
Yes, I know.
Although-
I really like Beat Saber, but it's like a tough pill to swallow.
If it was okay, I'll throw it out there. If it was Star Wars DLC for $9.99 from Walkabout, would you pay for it?
I would, but the thing is, I think that you all, I don't think you would sell a $9.99. Obviously, this isn't a discussion
know.
for you two. It's the wrong. I'm just saying. I'm just like throwing this out there. You don't even need to respond.
I think the community would respond if
I
they did
remember the
whatever the
response,
reason for, they'd do it.
the reaction you all had when you raised the price.
Oh, dude.
$1
You'd think they were killing the
from
community.
$2.99 to
Honestly,
$3.99.
It was a horrible day for us. Everyone was lovely, but we didn't want to do it. We're just like,
Well-
we've got a, sustainability
We
big
laughed.
discussion.
Well,
but
I
we're
was
all just
like
$3.99
dreading
is-
addressing
scared.
the reception to that, but it was like pleasantly surprised. And like, again, it's like, oh gosh, this community is so great that like they they understand that like we have a team and we have so many more things we're working on. It really means a lot to us that like they can see past like $1 and understand. And well, like
No, I
you were
get
just
it, but
yeah.
the amount of responses
$3.99.
that were like, "What? I'll pay double whatever they're charging." I don't.
$3.90. Maybe this is a Massachusetts specific high cost of living thing. I can't breathe the oxygen here
For
for
$1.
cheaper than
No.
$3.99.
Dude,
So,
my coffee's $3.41. So
and-
I'm like,
and
what?
you're gone with it in 30 minutes. Walkabout.
I have nothing to show for it.
Walkabout, you get easy mode. I always say easy mode. It's not easy mode.
It's
You get
the
the
mode.
normal. You get the hard mode.
Yeah.
You get the fox hunt.
You
You get the
balls.
lost balls. You get a new
lore.
putter. You get lore.
Sometimes double fox.
The
hunts.
ability to play it with your friends without them even
dead
owning
employees. Can't leave out
it.
dead
Easter
people.
eggs
Can't
Yep.
believe about the dead employees. No.
for
Yeah, they're very
$3.99. So like when we saw, we laughed when we saw the raise from $2.99 to $3.99. We were
It's
like,
$1.
look how apologetic they are.
Yeah, but it just shows.
We don't want to do
Yeah,
that
that's-
again.
Yeah, that's why I think the biggest IP could come to you all, and I think you would say, we'll do what
Dude,
Walk.
I said
March
this
to
more
your
than-
own drum.
I think a year ago I said this, that we will reach a point because of their success where IPs will be smart enough to take it on the chin
Mm-hmm.
for the exposure that is worth every penny. You'd be crazy to like turn a blind eye on something that could be coming.
Think of
that's
the
new.
potential with the Lego course.
Dude.
Don't even get me started. Don't even.
I
get me
had
started.
what was last week? I said pinball. Oh,
Mhm.
that was my big course idea.
Well,
Pinball.
Crystal
That's not
Lair
an
kind of
IP.
scratches that itch of
A
pinball
little bit.
ish.
Yeah, that's why he
gameplay.
mentioned it.
Yep.
It was.
I was
one
like, you know what? I can visualize the bumpers. Even paddles that maybe move on their own. Like,
I want to play a game. Obviously, it wouldn't be built in the game. It would be something to just do with your buddies. But you could do a challenge of like, the winner of each hole is whoever can hit the magnet the most times. Like,
Get it
it's
done.
like a
Oh,
pinball
yeah.
course.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
you're
that's
just trying to-
something we can even track on our end. I don't know, but that'd be interesting.
It's like you win the hole by hitting the
now we just throw selfish shit out there with
all
no
the time.
regard.
Yeah, we play with your wallet. It's like it's easy for
It's
us to
Lucas
just
money.
say it. Yeah, it's make believe.
We have an open check.
This Crystal Lair series, I love all the I love all the evil layers, but what a cap to the. I mean, wait, actually, is it a 3-course series? I assume all courses are 3-course series. Are we going to see?
Technically,
Lair.
our fourth entry into the Evil Lair series.
Yeah.
What's the
8-bit Lair
one
was
I'm
the
missing?
8-bit.
8-bit.
Laser,
Oh my goodness,
ice,
why am I
8-bit.
missing that?
Because I don't know. Because it didn't feel evil. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Why was I missing that?
I don't know. We missed it numerous times too.
Well, I apologize. On Monday's episode, that'll be out by the time you hear this. I call it the third.
Yeah.
A whole
I think I
bunch.
said, aren't there 4?
Yeah.
You said no, it's the third, but
I
I
kind of-
didn't latch on to 8-bit for
I-
some stupid reason.
Kind of hope it all ends with like the head.
Yeah,
evil-
dude.
evil
I
boss.
want that's
And
why
Or
the
like
evil boss. The
Power
evil boss is
Ranger.
Edward.
evil bosses
Like assemble to all our villains.
I
So
like
much potential.
I like 8-bit because I think I was watching a live stream the day it came out, and I think it was like hole 10 or 12, and someone went, God, it's the most real. It's the most realistic of all the evils because we've had a boss who's this crappy. This level's so grounded and real. And then they walk through the magic door to the Matrix, and they're just like, it's less real now.
Especially when you know that's coming.
That's awesome.
No, Meow Wolf, dude.
Oh,
No joke.
so good.
I that one, you know, probably I'll say it's 100% to me the most artistically like in your face. I don't even know what to call the artwork, really abstract, just psychedelic. Holy crap, there's a lot going on in that course.
Mm-hmm. That one's visually.
Yeah,
absolutely
I forget
stunning.
about that one sometimes.
But this has been really fun. Edward, is this your fourth time on? If I can't count the Evil Lair series,
I think the third.
If I can't count the Evil Lairs courses, I'm definitely not counting your appearances. That's for sure. And you know, Sarah, this was an awesome, I guess, debut, you could say, on the Ruff Talk VR podcast. You two are awesome duo we got on today. Always fun talking with the studio. Before I wrap it up, though, I do have to say, both to you, do you have anything else?
I'd honestly, I'd love to lock both of you folks in again.
Mhm.
I love the combo and the energy and the perspectives you can both provide are perfect.
Mm-hmm. It's a good
Not to put
good
you on
duo.
the spot, but
And
No,
before we
happy to.
How's
before we let you
October
two-
for you guys?
yeah, about October.
Let's just put a
Let me check
date.
my calendar right now. Does
October for you.
5 p.m. Eastern time work for
No,
you?
Edward, you're Sir Edward.
Oh,
Sir Edward.
can we say it's like crack of dawn for? It's like the sun is still coming up for you, right?
Oh,
Isn't it
Yay,
like 5 a.m.?
Edward.
Holy moly!
Trooper.
Yeah, it is. But it's not nighttime because you're up late. Actually,
No, it's
Maybe-
morning, right?
maybe you didn't go to
It's
sleep.
It's
I'm
morning.
gonna assume.
Morning.
Let's check when the sun rises. Let's make everyone who's listening to this wait as
I
I
guess
open
it's
my
winter
phone.
for you, at
Absolutely.
least. You're lucky.
It's cold as a witch's tit, and the sun rises in an hour and a half.
Edward!
What time does it rise?
In an hour and a half from now, 90 minutes till the sun rises.
Damn.
Yeah. So
And you can't
apologies.
see, but I'm at the beach. It's lovely out there.
Oh.
Thank you for taking the time. You know, I don't think that was enough. I don't think we emphasized that enough because,
Yeah, we can't do that next time.
dude, the energy, like
To wake up like that?
the pat, like the
We got to catch Edward.
the
at
vibe
like 3 in the
brought in this-
afternoon.
I know. This is 5
5
a.m.
in the morning.
Edward, and he's bringing this type of energy. This was awesome. So
Can you
Next time,
imagine?
we'll put it on
Full-blown
record.
energy.
we'll put it on record. Next time we have
Couple of
Edward on,
coffees.
we'll do it a couple hours later from now because
We'll do
you
it
know,
when our sky's dark.
yeah, we'll do it inverse style sometime. We'll do it at our sun up or something like that. And you know, like I said, Sarah, that was awesome. I think you put it great. Would love to have them both on together another time. Before we let you two go, though, is there anything else you want to touch on? Maybe anything that we forgot to bring up? Or any closing remarks, as they might say?
I mean, my main thing would be just my deepest condolences to Sarah having to work with me.
No,
in
I
terms
think
of
it's-
community management.
No, I like having, because right, our job is to like see what you guys are doing, work with that. But it's nice to have it be reversed where you know you're looking at what we're doing and seeing what you can do to help. So much appreciated, Edward. And I will say that I'll talk with David and see if we can't get some more of our elusive coconuts for you guys to interview sometimes.
Do you think if we like unlock Henning's cage and let him out?
He did a
Maybe.
live stream for Raptors Cliff, which I was surprised by. So
Just
He's
a
taller
voice
than
while
you would
playing.
think.
Coincidentally, AI models are getting real good. You got this artificial Henning character made.
he's
See, like-
real. Truly, I've seen him with my own two eyes. So
Absolutely hilarious. And
Oh
Next-
man, I can't believe an hour goes by this
oh,
quick.
that too fast. And next time I'll dig in more into the source of these GIFs that I love so much that you all use on your social media site.
oh yeah,
Again,
if it's on, I think it's just on like the Giphy library, and our lovely editor Wesley for every single course makes new GIFs to use. So those are courtesy of him.
so if you go on Giphy, these walkabout GIFs are available for the public to start to use.
Yep.
Or if they search them, post the link, and
Mhm.
then it'll boom. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yep,
I
yep.
assume that was like a private library you all
Nah,
had.
have at it.
I'll even give credit that, you know, for content creators and stuff like that. I know it's Edward's favorite word, content. You know, you go on the Walkabout press kit on your website, publicly
C
available. The ball renders are there in the press kit. Like if you, sometimes for the thumbnail, I've done one of the balls as like,
Yes.
thumbnail image. You all do a great job with like, you know, making that stuff accessible and easy to get. Even
Well,
to the
we
point
very
that,
much rely on you guys to share the word on Walkabout. So as easy as we can make that for you guys, we're happy to do.
You all crush it in every regard. Always love the energy. This was an awesome interview, real fun. Had to restrain myself. I think I was about to get a little sidetracked in the beginning, being a little too goofy on my end. It's a bad habit, but we do our best. So thank you you two for coming on. This was a blast, and hopefully it's not the last time we have you two on. And like you said, maybe even as a duo again. That was a lot of fun.
I think I love perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you've got the perfect
You have
perspectives,
the
and
technical
both
side.
can fill in the middles. Oh my god,
It doesn't get better than having
can't hide
somebody,
from either one of these two.
doesn't get better than having somebody involved in the technical side of things with Edward, who's a hilarious personality with it too, involved with somebody with the community side.
Aspect. Yeah,
You get the both perspectives to everything. It's awesome. It's a great duo.
I think next time we do this interview, for just the time reasons, you said Australia's on the bucket list. If everyone comes down, Sarah knows how to navigate. She's already been down here.
I've got
I
family
went for a
there.
walk last night. I saw a kangaroo on the street with me as I went for a walk. It was great. So it's all happening down under. Get on down. Get on down under.
The sea-
Foster's Australian for beer, mate. Yeah,
But their Krispy Kreme donuts are cold. Ugh.
yeah.
Unless you go to the factory in Fountain Gate.
Well,
Yeah, you
it's
go to
just-
Fountain Gate, get yourself an ice Krispy Kreme.
It's a cultural thing. It's so hot outside. You buy it cold. You hold it in your hand
It cooks.
in the sun for
Ooh.
2 minutes, and then you have
There's a lot I want to see.
Either
man.
or we're all
I'm
just
melting.
so hot as Australians. We're so hot. We have to have all of our food cold because we're just.
I do
Sure.
have a very distinct image of Australians where they're like the beachy sand hair and tan and
You have to always be beach ready. You have to, beach body.
That's not a
24/7.
problem,
you guys come out of the womb with a surfboard.
right?
Like I see
Dude,
Australians.
It's Australians who will swim into a riptide. That's how you know Australians on the East Coast beaches. They look for the riptides. You go, what are you doing? It's like, I'm going to go swimming. It's like, why are you're going in a riptide? You're going to die. And you're like, no, I'm going to go out there and then I'm going to swim.
see Australians on vacation. They have a surfboard. I'm like, where'd you get that? You don't live here. I don't even have a surfboard. You just like spawn them out of your inventory out of nowhere. It's
I'd
wild.
like to see Edward surf. That would be
Yep.
It's really funny.
fun.
Like, not for me, but for everyone else.
How's the water temp? Cold?
Yeah. Not to use the phrase that made Sarah jump before, but it's a little nippy.
Analyzed.
I mean, I'm down in Melbourne, so the water comes up from the Antarctic. So it's freaking
Okay.
cold.
So you get
but
cold
I'm-
water.
But then you get a couple inlets. Like I'm currently at Phillip Island, which is a little island. And it's like there's this beautiful bay where all the water gets in and soaks up the sun and the heat, and it's just really deliciously warm and it's beautiful. And there are
I do
penguins
have-
here.
One last thing, Edward. I think for your next interview, you should have your snake hang out on your neck like
Yes,
Brittany
true.
during the interview.
Brittany. Oh, you're a boa owner. Boa python?
I've got a Darwin carpet python who is dumb as a bag of rocks.
No, you just don't understand his
Yeah,
intelligence.
you'll have to bust him or her out next episode.
I genuinely don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I've only had them for 12 years. Not a clue.
Snakes are tough. You can't tell, I
Yeah,
figure
oh
if
my
it
God, the
doesn't
poker
bite you,
face
it's a
on that
female. And
Do it, Edward.
Too funny.
If you want
Do
another
it.
interview with me, I want the critters out to
So-
see.
Okay,
now-
I'm just going
now
to
a
go and
requirement.
find a bunch of spiders and put them on my laptop so occasionally something leggy goes over the camera.
dude, everything in Australia will kill you. Like the smallest spider will kill a bull, and nobody knows
The
why.
smallest spider to the largest politician. It's a dangerous, lawless land.
Edward, you're the best.
Too funny. I don't think there's ever been a bad Edward interview, but
There can't be. I look, dude. Again, when you told me, I'm like, who? And I'm like, dude, come on, man.
yeah. And Sarah, great debut.
Yeah.
So I'll
Thank
say,
you.
this
I
was fun.
appreciate it.
Great friggin' energy and screams. Thank God you're part of the community,
So
keeping it live and pulsing.
yeah, you give all the credit to the community, but
Yeah.
that's what a good community manager probably should do.
Mhm.
But the reality is,
Like
there
I
is-
said, it's a very serious machine. It's
There-
not your normal.
the results speak for themselves.
Yep.
So great work. Awesome to have you two both on. Home run, hole in one with Crystal Lair. Of course, I'm hooked on. I can't say my new favorite or anything. I banned myself from saying that.
I have a favorite putter. That's it.
But I am hooked. So thank you both. And hopefully this isn't the last time we have you two on.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.